Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of your boys from the Real Marks of Long Island. And this week, we had a John Cena finally show up once again in Brussels, right? Brussels, Belgium.
Brussels, Belgium.
I'm ready to talk about. I mean, I was pumped up. What were you guys thinking? A promo Monday night, well,
Well,
Monday afternoon.
Monday evening, we discussed that promo had a ton of importance riding on it, and I believe that John Cena succeeded. I think Cody succeeded. I believe John Cena in the beginning, once he stood in the middle of the ring and just let the crowd just make the noises and make the cheers and the boos that they were going to do. I thought it was hook, line, and sinker. I loved every bit of it. We didn't get new intro music. We didn't get new shirts. We got none of that because we don't deserve it. He's breaking up with us. So I thought it was great. Court, what'd you think?
I loved it. I think, like you said, we discussed that he needed to nail this. It had to be done right. He couldn't, you know, be a tweener. He has to be full heel, and he did exactly that. A little side note: people are saying Triple H protected Cody, not letting Cena go at him, and like directly in the ring, and that's the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard because Cody cooked him. Even, we have 4 more weeks of this, so relax. They're gonna be able to go head to head, no holds barred promo wise. So big fan, loved every bit of it. And
Yeah, I think the important things for me in that promo was targeting the We Want Cena fans. I think that was super important. He was making kids cry. You could see the looks on their faces as they were like dejected and couldn't believe that their Superman of 25 years was now just like shoving it back down their throats. And the other important thing during this promo that happened was a huge We Want Cody chant as Cena was going through his gripes with the WWE Universe. And to me, that moment, I was like, okay, Cena nailed this. Like, the entire arena at that point was chanting, "We want Cody." And the eruption that ensued when he came out just proved that, okay, this is marking for a huge, huge main event match. Huge heel versus face. And we saw in his updated show dates, he's going to be on Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania's weeks to come. That, to me, I don't know if you want to cover your ears, Court, but that might have shifted my feelings a little bit. I think Cena really taking on and embracing this heel character, shoving it down the fans' throat. I still think his heel way is going to win Money in the Bank and screwing someone over for a cheap win for a 17th. But my odds just got a little bit closer on if Cena might come out champion at WrestleMania.
I feel like, he had dates to fulfill. He hasn't been back all that much. So I knew the dates were coming. Everyone's like, oh, look at the schedule. It's so scary. It's spooky. No, I'm still very confident that Cody comes out same way he walked in WrestleMania as the champion. I look, doubters, naysayers, it's all good. Cody's got this in the bag.
Yeah, first I want to start with saying, even though I usually hate when segments run 25 plus minutes on a live show, but I didn't want that to end. I wanted them face to face jousting at each other the whole show. And the crowd, like we've said, international crowds, top notch, can't be touched. Just the crowd feeding into it. Unbelievable cinema. It's like that meme, unbelievable, or absolute cinema, whatever it is. But Court, you got admit to me a little bit that those dates are scaring you a little bit.
Do I look
like
scared?
A little bit.
I am not scared.
A little?
No, not even a little bit. I was more scared last year going into Mania that he wasn't going to do it. And that's saying something because I was pretty damn confident. I don't see it. I don't. I think I still have this thought in my head that Cena turning heel, look, it could happen. I'm not an idiot. Anything can happen. someone could be added to this match like we discussed last week. You never know. But right now, where I stand on this day, feeling good, feeling confident.
So, do you want to make a friendly Real Marks of Long Island wager?
1,000,000%.
I have Cena, you got Cody?
Have you met me? You just said
I
the
know,
word
I'm
wait
just-
in the same sentence. Yes, I'm down.
Fair. All right, we will discuss the parameters of this bet at a later date, but just a virtual handshake that I will take John Cena at WrestleMania, and you have your boy Cody Rhodes retaining.
Easiest.
And then I throw in CM Punk as the wild card. So if I lose, I don't pay anyone. But if I win, you both have to pay me money. How's that?
Seems
Deal,
fair.
deal,
Seems
deal.
fair.
Yeah, I'm torn. I am. I do want Cody to win. I think Cody has more to offer with the win, more to gain, I should say, from this win. But WWE loves to shock people, and Cody winning is the safe bet. And I know people. The only thing that still gets me on the Cody's gonna win side is if Cena wins, he's gonna get a good reaction, I think, at WrestleMania. That's why I think if he wins Money in the Bank and cashes it in on like a Monday Night Raw after he like cooks the crowd again in an earlier moment, I think that would do better for him to have like silence or shock in the arena than a cheer at WrestleMania.
Well, I feel like now I could be totally off base here, but I feel like the past few years when there's been 2 nights of WrestleMania, one night has ended with the fans upset, and another night has ended with the fans happy. So that leads me to believe whatever we get the main event for night one, whether it be that triple threat that we're assuming between Roman, Seth, and Punk, I feel like people are going to be happy either way. Like whichever outcome comes from that, there's going to be cheers, which leads me to, I think the crowd is going to go silent when Cody Rhodes loses to John Cena.
Wow.
I mean, WrestleMania crowds are weird too because you're in such a big space, and even wrestlers say like, you can't hear. It's not as intimate, and you can't hear them as well, and it doesn't come across as loud. Ty, we were there in person. It's totally different. You can hear people going insane, but
Yep.
on the camera and on the broadcast, it doesn't look the same. So it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, I'm standing my ground. I'm confident. I think Cody's gonna be fine. And I can eat my words. I can lose a bet. I'm about to lose one right now as we record this podcast. So it happens.
Who'd you take?
Georgia, they suck.
Oh, yeah. Georgia's getting blown out. Anyway.
I want to talk about now. Let's shift a little bit to the other side of the fence, AEW. I mean, everyone's talking about it. Jon Moxley taking the bump on that spike bat, and watching freaking, why am I blanking on his name real quick? Wheeler Yuta try and rip that spike bat out of his back, and watching the skin just pull. I was like, what was the point? Like what? Like, I don't have the words for it because, again, we spoke about this a lot. But to me, like, this is just like icing on the cake. Like, let's do something real gory, real over the top, real hardcore to like make some noise. And it worked, right? It worked, but like, I really what cost? Like, it's like, who knows what could have damaged that could have actually led to. Thank God he didn't land spine first on it. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, what would have been the best case scenario for that spot?
I believe, first off, I am so sick and tired of Jon Moxley in general. Like, he is just ruining AEW right now. I know he was the hottest thing once he came in, and it was awesome that he was the first guy to really jump from WWE to AEW. But I'm just so sick of the stunts. Like you said, what was it for? Like, what, on a random Dynamite, he's just going to go and have a spiked bat impaled into his back for what? For what? Like you said, like, sure, they got a hit on TMZ, so it's out there and the people are watching it. But what are you doing? Like, you do this every week, Jon Moxley. Like, we get it. you're a fucking badass. Like, I don't want to meet you in a dark alley. Believe me, I do not. I will run and piss my pants. But do we have to do this weekly? Like, it comes to a point where it's not it's the spectacle turns into just like, oh, all right. Like, I feel like it's just ruining it for me when he's doing this week in and week out.
Yeah, you guys hit it on the head, the nail on the head. It was gross to me. Like, I get it. You're doing it for the shock factor. You're doing it to get those hardcore wrestling fans, like, give them their little taste of it. Didn't think it was necessary. I saw people on Twitter being like, this is why AEW is the best. This is why Moxley's the man. No one in the Shield can touch Moxley. He's obviously the best member. Are you guys crazy? I mean, that spot takes insane balls. I couldn't even imagine it. It looked horrendous. Like, so painful and gross when he's pulling it up. It grossed me out. But you're going to sit there and say, like, that makes him a better wrestler? No, it makes him a psycho, which in some wrestling circles is the man. But to me,
Head on to CZW if you want to see some psycho
exactly.
mess.
Like, to me, you're in AEW, and that's supposed to be, we say it week in and week out, the best wrestling. That had nothing to do with wrestling. That was just a crazy ECW type, CZW type spot.
Yeah. And I laugh because, like, Will Ospreay had this amazing promo about how his wife was saying don't do anything crazy, and he saw the phones, he saw the lights, he's like, I'm doing this, and jumps off the steel cage, and he's like, I'm no spring chicken, I'm in my 30s now, and, like, I told my wife I wouldn't do anything crazy. But those are wrestling spots, those are cool. Like, you don't need to do like this insanely graphic spot that, like, just to get attention. We have Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay coming up on world title matches. I hope one of them wins. I honestly hope it's Will Ospreay. I really think if they really want to move forward, you got to pull the trigger on Will. He's so hot right now. They put the freaking international championship on Kenny, and I think the next step is putting the AEW world title around Will Ospreay, and I think they can really push forward with that.
Yeah, I mean, Will Ospreay, we've said it. He's pound for pound the best wrestler in the world right now. Everyone thought when he came over originally from New Japan that his promo skills would struggle, but I believe that he has exceeded expectations, should I say. Like, sure, he has a fault, he falters here and there on some words or whatnot. But other than that, the guy is the best pickup for AEW in, I don't know, like, ever. So for me, obviously I have the Bruv shirt. It's an obvious choice that if you want to move forward, you got to put the strap on Will Ospreay. You have to. Like, we've seen Swerve. Swerve had a great run. Don't get me wrong, but it's Will Ospreay's time. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys. It's time to move on from Moxley. It's time to move on to Ospreay. He's a great talent. I saw people shitting on that promo, but I loved it just like you guys did.
I love it.
I mean, I did. Justin, I know you did. Ty, I know you did, but I thought it was great. Like, people were like, oh, like, this was such a lame promo. You wanted the guy to get better at promos. You have to cut promos to get better at promos. So, you can't have both. I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
And it also, it was like, it wasn't like a promo per se. Like, that was just him. That was Will Ospreay being Will Ospreay. Like, him just talking to Tony Schiavone. That's exactly what that was. Just as if you were at a bar. Like, we discussed this, as if you were at a bar just talking to Will Ospreay, and he's just telling you a story about, a few weeks ago and just how fucking funny it was. That's exactly what that was, and it was perfect.
Yeah, it's real, and the passion behind his words is what brings me in. If you can sell me on what you're talking about, and you say that the way you talk, and you talk to how you believe in your words, and obviously, like you said, he was telling a story that reflected him, and obviously he believes his story because it's real. But, like, to me, that's what drags me in. Is like, if you're gonna feed me this promo, and it's the feelings behind it are real, and the passion behind it's real, I'm all for it. As long as it's not like Ricochet, just bumbling idiot, just yelling random shit and then running away.
Yeah. And don't get me started on Ricochet.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually just about to ask, how do we feel about Ricochet trying to get over this heel persona and try to make a case for the World Heavyweight Championship of AEW?
Not the world championship. I think I am excited for him because this is where he can make these decisions, these mistakes, use these opportunities to learn what the crowd's going to react to. And if he just becomes like the Dominic Mysterio of AEW, I mean, that's more power to him. I think he's not there yet. I don't think people really care. His wrestling ability's there, but he just really needs to find what's going to irk the crowd the most and just hone in on it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with Ricochet per se. It's just the place where he is just a strange one. He's stuck in the middle, not middle, but he's trying to be this heel and he's trying to find what's going to work. And it'll come, I think, because he's getting the opportunity to work it. And that's all you really need. So we'll see what happens with that. Not a world title, like you said, Ty. It's not. That is way too soon for me.
The one thing I will say about Ricochet, and I will give him credit, is I know when they brought him in, he was booked as a face, and the fans did not want him. The it's just one of those natural things where we hate you. We don't care that you do flips and shit. We don't like you. And he pretty much just responded in a way where like, all right, now I'm just going to be arrogant. I'm going to be cocky. I beat Will Ospreay. I beat so-and-so. I beat this person, that person. And now he's who he is. So I do give him credit for responding the way he has and moving forward in this heel direction, because I don't think we've ever seen Ricochet as a heel as far as I can remember back to NXT. So good on him. You know, the arrogance is what drives me up a wall.
And what did you guys think about it? I want to like reel back a little bit to the Moxley storyline. Wheeler Yuta coming out to help Moxley. Like they left on bad terms. The whole Death Riders were obliterated. And now they're back together, full force. Like, does this mean we got so much more time with this run? Does he run through Swerve? Does he run through Will Ospreay? Like, when I saw them come out during that match against Edge, I was like, oh, great. We're back to the Death Riders. Here we go. Wheeler Yuta's coming back to help his buddy. Here's Cesaro. Here's
Pac.
Pac.
It's the same shit. Like, what is this storyline? What are we doing here? You know, we discuss this week in and week out. The storyline makes no sense. We haven't seen the AEW World Heavyweight Championship in person in months. You don't want that on your flagship show for AEW. You want to be able to see the title. You see Cody lifting that title and kissing it and doing everything with it. It's in a fucking bag in AEW. Like, what the fuck is going on? So now that they're back together, I'm sure that this will push forward and prolong. I think I end up seeing him losing it at All in July, and that is months away, which they better figure something out, and I better be wrong. But I truthfully don't think I'm wrong, and I think Moxley's holding that title until July.
God help us all if that's the case.
Yeah, I guess.
And speaking about, just back to AEW real quick, PWN exclusive, please join the Discord. It is free, and you get these exclusive little insights from the insiders. I know last week we had brought up that there, was someone that was possibly jumping ship from AEW to WWE. There have been clues. There's an I in the name, an A, an H, and the percentage of positiveness that this is going to happen once the contract is up has jumped from about 85 to 90. And the speculation still the same as last week, Mariah May and Jay White. But they all, the insider has also said it's not going to be a prolonged one. It's pretty much going to be like Ricky Starks and, now Ray Phoenix. Once that contract's up, expect to see that person soon. So, probably a little time after Mania. SummerSlam is the speculation, but there's that. And there's an unsigned free agent that might have a short stint back with WWE, and people are speculating maybe Brian Danielson back to WWE for one more run.
That'd
Just
be
speculation, just speculation.
Speculation, but
But
I wouldn't
you
hate that.
you can get all of this for free in the PWN Discord. Come and join us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that? Daniel Bryan for one more run. I mean, I think he wants to see, AEW succeed. I could see him coming back to wrestle against Moxley for the title and win it back in a quick month or two title run. In my opinion, that's what I can see happen.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I also don't know if in this moment WWE would need to bring him in for any reason. I think there's too much roster usage right now, and I think he would kind of get lost in the fold, especially you have Cena's retirement tour. You got Punk in the main event, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, obviously Cody Rhodes. We got, maybe for Raw. I mean, but you're going to have, Jey Uso versus Danielson, and I feel like, not to, knock Jey down a little bit, but I feel like that would hurt Brian Danielson, if anything, if he were to lose to Jey. But yeah, I can't, maybe not this year, maybe in the future, but not this year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I mean, especially with, the rumors that the Bellas, Nikki Bella is definitely interested in having another run. She wants to bring Brie along with her. That would make sense to have, Brie and then Danielson. But maybe, Court, I know you don't want to hear it, but John Cena wins. Cody's on his road back to getting that title at SummerSlam. But, this is when all hell's breaking loose and he's just getting beat down. The Rock doesn't want it. John Cena doesn't want it. And then in comes a partner to help him get to that moment. It doesn't have to be all, a heavy load on Danielson, but maybe Brian Danielson comes to help Cody get back to that spot. I don't know.
I mean, that's a crazy hypothetical because Cody's not losing, right? So,
Touche.
but yeah, I mean, like Ty said, and like you said, I could see it in maybe a year. And I really don't want to see the Bellas back. I have no desire, like none.
The women's division is so good right now.
It's so good, and you're just gonna bring it back down to whatever that was when they were wrestling. And look, they did well. They, got better every match, and I can't fault them for that. Go, just stick with whatever you're doing, clothing and dancing, and I don't know, TikToks, and I think Nikki's on some show. Just stay there, please. I'm begging you. I don't have it in me to watch them like come in and beat Rhea or like, Tiffany, or even like go to NXT and crap on what they have there. Like, just please stay home. I'm imploring you.
They got kids at home. Stay with the
Yeah,
babies.
you got
Stay with the
kids.
kids. I didn't know if they're babies. They might be toddlers. I don't freaking know. I don't keep up with them. It makes, but talking about the Bellas does make me want to go back and watch Total Divas. Just the homie TJ
Just to watch
and all the ruckus. Yeah.
You could see the original heel Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you can.
Total Divas was the best. I used to love Total Diva nights.
I did too. I watched a lot of it on WWE Network, but then I got to a point where I'm like, and reality TV, once I watch for a bit, it just phases out. Like Jersey Shore, hardcore Jersey Shore guy until like season 3 or 4. Then I was like, yeah, like the situation, smacking his head in Italy against the wall. I'm good. This has got too far for me.
I remember that Jersey Shore party that we had in your basement.
Nope, I was there too.
I remember that. Now I'm back into the Jersey Shore because of my wife. So I'm watching the family vacations now.
See,
but
I watched Family Vacation for the first 2.5 seasons. And then I'm like, all right, I get in this rut where I'll watch the reality TV, but after a certain point, it's just like, all right, it's like the same old shit over and over again. Time to go back to my DC Marvel world.
I wanted to go back to Raw real quick because there's two things that I wanted to ask you guys. So clearly at the end, we saw Penta pretty much challenging Bron Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. So with his brother also coming in. I think we saw a vignette on SmackDown. Are, are you guys okay with keeping both Rey Fenix and Penta separated right now? Because clearly you have Penta on Raw, Rey Fenix on SmackDown. We got to see the Lucha Bros or the Lucha Brothers in WWE at some point. So are you like, where do we get, how do we get to that point is what I'm asking you.
I don't think we get to that point.
You think they keep them separate for a while?
Well, I think with this reaction that Penta's getting as a singles superstar, like why jeopardize that? Why push away? I think the perfect way to go about it is have Rey Fenix attack the man and have a feud between the two. Why not? The chemistry between them is amazing. What a way to bring in, the other half of the Lucha Bros. And I think the crowd would really get behind it because the matches they would put on would be stellar.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I kind of like keeping them apart as well because Penta is just so over right now. It's crazy. The things they're doing with his entrance, like unheard of. It's just like every week is something new. They're just feasting on it. So I feel like to immediately tag them together would be a waste. I'm sure down the line we'll get the Lucha Bros in WWE. It's inevitable. But for now, I say keep them apart, or like you said, die a feud. That'd be sick.
They could do the DX thing where like Shawn Michaels and Triple H are both getting beat down by Vince and Shane, and then all of a sudden they just freaking slap DX and just go crazy and start, cross chopping for 2 or 3 years.
It also looks like Penta's giving Cody a run for his money with the pyro. It's getting to a point where I think that man has more pyro than Cody Rhodes, and I thought I would never ever say that. I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. But the second thing that I wanted to bring up was there is a mystery luchador that keeps appearing during these American-made matches. So, is it Chad Gable or is it not Chad Gable?
Rey Fenix.
Rey Fenix?
Yeah, it's Rey Fenix.
That would be so fucking good if it was. See.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Courtney's Chad Gable redemption got signed pretty quickly after that Monday Night Raw where he showed up the first time. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like if he's in the building and he's signing redemptions, he must be back with a mask on his head.
I'm just curious as to, because obviously after the first time that masked American-made luchador appeared, everyone thought it was Gable. And then you have the backstage segment where someone was clearly dressed up as the luchador. So that's like, I know it is Gable, but who is, who was that other guy?
Maybe it's Christian or maybe it's Edge. Who knows? The
Conquistadors are back, baby. Maybe it's Kurt Angle.
No, I like it. I wish they were doing a better job with him coming back as a lucha. I think they should have been matches with the mask on and stuff, and like do what they did with the Conquistadors. Is like, who is this guy? Like, but they're not. They're not hiding it. With the Conquistadors, you kind of knew, but it could have been anyone. It was just a generic gold suit that covered the whole body, and it was just lanky ass motherfucker at the time, and it was either Edge or Christian. But we can obviously tell it's Chad Gable. I just wish they hit it more, and I wish that they put him in matches and not just interfered.
Fair. I mean, we'll probably get to that point because it looks like American Made's also kind of getting a little fed up with Gable. They were like, Gable runs up to him, "What I missed? Sorry, like I saw the masked luchador was out there again." They just kind of like were like, "Really?" So it has piqued my interest. I am curious to see which route they are going to go with that.
Yeah, I'm interested too, especially because, like Ty said, I got my Chad Gable redemption out of 25. Let's let that card skyrocket a little bit. Get it to the move.
I have another question for you guys. What's the timeline on the Judgment Day?
Soon. I think definitely by Mania. It's happening within the next few weeks, and I don't know where that goes because we're still waiting for the Wyatt 6 to come back. So I don't know how they work that, because I still believe you're going to get the Wyatt 6 with the angle with Alexa Bliss by Mania, or if not at Mania, they need opponents, and I feel like the only logical answer right now is the Judgment Day, and I think this is what ends up completely tearing them apart.
Yeah, it's coming. And I mean, we say it. We've been saying it for like a year that we see it coming, but now really feels like the death of the Judgment Day is upon us. But you're right. Wyatt Six, they need an opponent. I couldn't think of another team that they would face at Mania. If they're gonna have a match at Mania, it has to be Judgment Day. So let that be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, and the thing that really piqued that question for me was when Dom's brilliant idea as a new member was Penta, and I'm like, all right, so they're not bringing anyone in. Like, this is the end. We're rolling this up. You know, Dom accidentally, knocked Finn all the turnbuckles, screwed him out of that match at the end. I'm interested to see how they go about it next week. I don't see them making it to Mania. Maybe they do, but I think at this point, we are literally 1 month away from night 2 of WrestleMania. And if the Wyatt Six aren't showing up to feud with the Judgment Day, it's not going to happen. So I think they're going to implode before WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere that Alexa Bliss got taken off of a Fanatics event at WrestleMania weekend. So maybe
Yeah, she was supposed to be like the Thursday or the Friday or something, I think.
like maybe the Wyatt Six aren't coming back as quick as I know she's not a part of them yet, but
Yeah. But I think they're waiting on Bo Dallas, the heel. I think he's still taking a little longer than expected. But it's a shame because like when they came out, it was hot. And then that feud with, I always forget their name, Carrying Cross is your Final Testament.
Yeah.
It just like slowed it down completely. And I'm glad Canyon's getting to do his own thing now and not be in this big faction. But like, even when Gordon and I went to WrestleMania, like the match of the night that was the slow point, was the dud, was the Hurt Business versus the Final Testament. And it's just, I feel like that was just a bad way for them, for A, Bo Dallas get hurt, B, for them to like kind of write off TVs by losing that match they had.
Yeah, with the Wyatt Six though, like Cord, I believe you mentioned it last week. They will definitely get that, like, how Roman gets a pop because he returns every once in a while. Like the next time the Wyatt Six show up, they're gonna get a pop and people will remember. So I don't think their momentum, I don't want to say is dead by any means, but they have to appear soon because
I just wish they continued with the vignettes because that was super important. Like, if they're not there, like, why not continue to tell their story?
That's true.
Why not, sell the creepiness? Why not tease things? I mean, when they first showed up, they killed half the crew. They killed Chad Gable. They murdered a bunch of people. Like, it was cool. Like, it was this alternate, like, WWE reality that happened. And for that to like not continue to me is kind of crazy. So, I mean, hopefully they have more in the tank for them and more story to give. But I feel like in my sense, that could have been like a nice like multiversal opportunity for the WWE to use in like their own little universe where like maybe they're taking out superstars completely. Like, it doesn't have to be a true line with what WWE is doing. But that's just the nerd of me coming out and talking about what I think would be cool.
no, definitely.
Yeah.
That would be sick. It's true. They should have kept up with something because, as Justin said, like I said last week, they're going to get a pop. People are going to remember who they are, obviously, and it's not going to totally flop when it comes back. But also, you're such a big group, like number-wise, you have to pick and choose who you're going to feud with because there's not that many factions of that size. And if Judgment Day goes down ship, and it's done, I don't know where they go. I mean, yeah, you could like pair them off and, put Nikki Cross in women's and all that, but, it's a shame.
All right. With that being said, Ty's tired. We're going to wrap this podcast up. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, your friends over here are WWE Shop partners, make sure to go to our affiliate link and buy. If you want this old Triple H King of Kings t-shirt, you can't buy it, but you can probably buy another Triple H t-shirt using our affiliate link for WWEshop.com. Like I said last time, Justin's got a nice big New York Rangers championship because maybe they'll win the chip this year. Maybe Justin can bring that title to the Stanley Cup Finals Game 7 and hold it up proud for the Rangers. Who friggin' knows?
In my dreams tonight. Yeah, that's the only time that's going to happen.
But yes, please use our affiliate link if you want to support us, if you enjoy us, if you want to see us prosper, if you want Ty to have more time to film podcasts. Click that link, buy some shit, and make us happy. Real Marks, out.